What's up, everybody? Hope you are having a wonderful day. This is Sunny Solanki, and in this video, I'm going to explain how to create a multi-page dashboard web app using Python libraries, Dash, and Plotly. We will be using Dash primarily for creating the layout of the web app, and Plotly will be used to create various charts. Apart from that, I have used the front-end framework Bootstrap to improve the look of the dashboard a bit. So first of all, let me show you how our dashboard looks like, and then I will share the code with you. Alright, so here's how the homepage of our dashboard looks like. And as you can see at the top, there is a navbar where there are various links. So introduction, dataset, distribution, relationship, average feature, and correlation. So there are 6 pages in this dashboard, and this is the home page, introduction page. So in this page, I have displayed the introduction about the dataset. So I have highlighted what the dataset is and what are the various data variables of the dataset. So I have used the famous wine dataset, which is available from Python library scikit-learn for this creating this dashboard and various charts of it. So dataset has information about various ingredients used in creation of 3 different types of wines. So there are 13 ingredients, which are alcohol, malic acid, ash, and so on, which are listed over here. And then there is a target variable, which is a categorical, which has 3 values: class 0, class 1, and class 2. So that's what outlined over here on this first page, introduction. Next page is dataset. So from top, dataset is a link, you can click on it. So when you click on that link, it will open this page, second page, which is a dataset page. And on this page, I have highlighted the dataset. So the whole dataset is shown over here as a table, and we can explore the dataset. As you can see, alcohol, malic acid, ash, etc. are various columns of our dataset, and it has continuous values. And wine type is a categorical column, and it has 3 values: class 0, class 1, and class 2. So that's our dataset. Third page is our distribution page. So let me go to it. So as you can see, this page has a drop down at the top. So first there is a title of this particular chart. So this is a histogram, and from this drop down you can select various columns of our dataset, and based on selected column, the histogram for that particular column will be created. So that's a distribution page. Next is a relationship page. So this one, the fourth one, is a relationship page, and this page has 2 drop downs. So these drop downs are for creating this scatter chart, and one is for selecting x-axis column name, and the another drop down is for selecting y-axis column names. So based on the selected column, scatter chart will be created, and points of the chart will be colored based on wine type, which is again a categorical variable. So that's the fourth page. Fifth page is this one, average feature. So over here, I am displaying what is the average value of the selected column. So column will be selected from this drop down, which is ingredient. And for that ingredient, what is the average value of that ingredient per wine type? So class 0, what is the average value? Class 1, class 2. And you can select different ingredients from this drop down. So that's the fifth page, average feature. And sixth page is a correlation. So on this page, I am displaying a heat map, and this heat map shows the relationship between various columns of our dataset. If you want to look at a relationship between various columns, you can explore this heat map. Alright, so that's our dashboard. Now let's move on to code explanation part, and then I will bring up the server and show you the actual dashboard. Right, so the code for the dashboard is kept in this folder named dash plotly dashboard with navbar. So the total code and all its file are present in this folder, and this folder has one main file named dashboard.py. So this is the file that we will use to launch our server, and this is the main file of our dashboard. And then there are other pages, and those pages are present in this pages folder. So over here, as you can see, various file name, average feature.py, intro.py, and so on. So these pages are present in this pages folder, and all the static files like images and css and so on, you can keep it in assets folder. So let me go ahead and explain you the code of this first file, dashboard.py. So in this file, as you can see, I'm importing important components from dash, which is dash. HTML is used to create a various HTML tags, and DCC will be used. It's a dash core components, and it will be used to create various widgets. Next, I have declared the external style sheet. So for external style sheet, I have used the famous front-end framework Bootstrap, which I mentioned at the beginning in the intro. And this framework will be used to improve the look of the dashboard a little bit. And then I have declared our dash app. As usual, as you can see, I have given name, and I have specified pages folder where I have kept the individual pages of this dashboard. So I have said pages, which is the folder, and use pages is true and external style sheet. So this external CSS is given over there. Next, I have declared image tag and then brand link. So dcc.link has first image tag. So over here html.image, and source is assets slash cc.png. So I have used a logo of my website for this tutorial, but you can go ahead and use any other logo if you want to use. So that logo is over here as a link, and then I have also specified the name of the website. So that's the brand link. And next is a list of links, which are the links of various pages of our dashboard. So over here I have a simple loop which says for page in dash.pagehistory.values. So for each page it's creating link dcc.link, and it is retrieving name of that page, which will be the name of that link, and href is the path of that page. So this pages link will have a list of links to various pages, and this dash.page registry will have all the list of pages. So we will be registering each page with its part at the beginning of the pages, which I will explain when I go to individual pages files. So over here there is a brand link, and then there is a pages link. So now comes the most important part, which is the setting the layout of our app. So we can do app.layout, and then we can set the layout of our app. So the total layout of app is set over here in this HTML div, in this div, and this div has two parts. First is the navbar, which will be at the top. So let me go back to image. So first this is the navbar, and then the second is this one, the content below, and then there is another div, this div. So that's the main page. So this main page there. So in order to create navbar, I have used nav function, and for children I have again given div, and in this div, as you can see, I have given list. So first brand link is given as single list plus pages link. So these two links, all the pages link and brand link, are combined in one list. So this will create this particular navbar. As you can see, introduction dataset. So these are various links, and this is the brand link. So that's what I have done over there. I have combined them, and then I have used various class names which are available from Bootstrap to create this navbar. So you are supposed to have a little bit of background with Bootstrap in order to better set the layout of your dashboard. Otherwise you can copy whatever code I have over here and it will give you good results. So that's the navbar, and below navbar we have a content of various pages. So for that I have first of all say called br. So br is nothing but a break line HTML tag which simply moves the content to the next line. And then I have declared what is the header of the dashboard, which I have set it to multi-page dash plotly web app. And below that I have called this dash.page container. So this is very important. So this is the container, and in this container the contents of various pages will be displayed. So in all the pages which I will explain next, we will be setting a variable named layout. In that layout variable we will be setting the total layout of the page, and that layout variable, whatever we have declared, will come over here in this dash.page container. So let me go to image, and as you can see, layout is this. So whatever you declare in layout will come over here as a dash.page container. For each page, as you can see, dataset explorer, and then various charts and so on. This navbar and this scope, and then this top title will stay the same, but the content below will be changing based on the particular page, and that will be based on the URL of that particular page. So yeah, so that's the layout of our app. And then at the end, I'm simply running the app. So we will be running the app using this particular file. So let's move on to our first page, and let me explain you the introduction part. Right, so the first page is intro.py, and this page has introduction about our dataset. So at the top, I have import as usual, and then I'm registering this page. So this is the most important part. So I'm calling dash.register page. Then I'm giving the name of this particular file as a registration name, and then path I have given as slash. So this will be like a home page of our dashboard, and it will be displayed first. Then I have given name to the page, and then I have also given order. So if you want the pages to be in particular order, you can set it using this order parameter. So after I register this page, it will be available through registry. So let me go back to dashboard.py, and over here, as you can see, dash.pageRegistry.values, which I have called earlier. So this page will be now available in this page registry because I have registered over here. And then over here, I am setting the layout of this page. So the layout is simple div, HTML div, and inside of that there are two divs. So in first div, I have written some text, wine dataset overview, h2 tag, and then again some text, this content is over there, and some break line to move the content to the next line, and again some text. And then there is one more div. So in this div, I have explained various data variables. So what are the various ingredients used in creation? So data, features, and class name, and so on. So this particular layout is the layout for our first introduction page, and this layout that I have declared over here will be going over here in dash.page container, and that's what will happen. So this will come over here. So that's our introduction page. Let's move on to next page, which is dataset. So the dataset page is kept in this file name dataset.py, and at the beginning of the file I have required imports. So pandas for loading our dataset, and then HTML and DCC components are imported from dash, and plotly.graph objects will be used to create the table which will display our dataset. So I have imported that as well. And from scikit-learn.dataset, I have imported this function load_wine, and this function will be used to load our dataset. So at the beginning, again, as usual, I will be registering the page. So this particular line will be present at the beginning of each line where we register the page. So this time the URL or the path of this particular page is /dataset. So it will be available from this URL, the domain name, and then /dataset. Then I have given name, and I have also included emojis in the name. And then order is because after introduction, I want this as a second page. So order will be 1. And over here is the code to load our data set. So first of all, I'm loading the data set, then I am loading it as a data frame, and then I'm setting the wine type column. Next, I have declared a function called def create table. And what this function does is that it uses a plotly to create a table. And in this table, I will be setting the data of our dataset, wine dataset. So geo, which is a graph objects, and the table function is used to create a table. So that will be a plotly figure, and over here I am returning that figure. So I'm also updating layout by changing the background color and removing margin and so on. So calling this function will return the graph, and that graph is actually a table. And then again, I am setting the layout variable. So this layout variable will go over there in our main page. So in layout, I am calling simply div, HTML div. So first there is a header, which is a dataset explorer. So the header will be added. And then I am calling this dcc.graph. So dcc.graph is generally used to include various plotly figures. And over here, go.table is also kind of a chart from plotly perspective. And in figure, I am calling this function create table, which will return this figure, and figure is table. So that will be set for that particular graph. Let me go back to image and let me go to second page. And as you can see, first is a dataset explorer. So that's the header. And then there is a table which is getting displayed. So that's our second page, datasets page. So let's move on to third page. The code for the third page, distribution page, is kept in this file distribution.py. And at the beginning of this file, I have some imports which are almost same as our previous file. There is only a few extra imports like input output, which will be used to create a callback to link the widget with the chart. And this time I am using Plotly Express to create charts. And I am loading the dataset as usual. And then over here I have a function called create distribution, and it takes a single parameter which is the column name, for which column we want to create a histogram. And for the selected column, histogram will be created and that figure will be written. So in order to create histogram, I am using Plotly Express.histogram. For data frame, I have given our with-navbar data frame. X will be the selected column and number of beans are set to 50. And then I am simply updating the layout of the figure a little bit and returning it. Next, I have declared a widget. So this is a simply drop down widget which will be used to select which column we want to see the histogram of. And then I have declared the ID of that drop down. Options are list of wine.feature names, so list of column names of our dataset. And the default value is set alcohol. And based on the selected column value, the histogram will be displayed and this value will change. Then I have set a layout. The layout is again same as our previous examples. First of all, there is a main div. Inside of that main div, there is a header. After header, there is a widget. So this drop down will be displayed after header. Then again, there is a blank line. And then the chart will be displayed, which is histogram. So how this chart will be updated, and that will be done using this callback. So over here, I have declared a simple callback update histogram, and this will accept a single column name, the column name which is selected from drop down. So input over here is, you can see list column, which is our drop down, and we will get the value of that drop down, which will be given to this function. And what this function does is it again calls our create distribution function, this one, which accepts the column name and return figure. So whatever figure is written by this callback function will be set as a figure parameter of this histogram. So this dcc.graph will have a figure parameter, and whatever figure is written by create distribution will be set over here in this histogram. So that will create our third page. So this one, as you can see, first there is a header, then there is a drop down, and then there is a chart. So let's move on to fourth page. So the code for scatter chart or our fourth page is kept in this file relationship.py. And as you can see at the beginning of this file, I have various imports, which are again common imports. And then I'm registering this page. So I'm keeping this page at /relationship path, and then name is given and then order is given. And again, there is a code to load our data set. And then I have declared a function create scatter chart. So this function will be used to create scatter chart. It accepts two parameters, x-axis and y-axis. So these are the name of the columns, what column we want to see for x-axis and what column we want to see for y-axis. And based on the selected columns, the Plotly figure will be created and written. And in order to create a figure, I'm using Plotly Express.scatter function. I'm giving it with-df data frame, and the column names and color is wine type. So points of the scatter chart will be colored based on wine type. And then after updating the figure layout, we are returning the figure. Next, I have declared two drop down. So for selecting x-axis and y-axis values, this drop down, and options are various column names of our dataset. Default value for x-axis is alcohol, and for y-axis it's malic acid. And then I have declared the layout of this page. So this layout again is same as our previous page. First of all, there is a main div. Then I have declared the header. So what is the header of this particular page? Then there are two drop down, x-axis, y-axis, and then there is a chart. So over here in dcc.graph, the scatter chart will be displayed. And in order to create a scatter chart, update it based on the selected value, I have created this callback function update scatter chart. It takes two parameter x-axis and y-axis, and then it calls this function create scatter chart, which we declared over here. And that function returns a figure which will be set as a scatter graphs figure parameter. And over here we are providing two inputs which are x and y axis. So that's our fourth relationship page. So let's move on to next. So the fifth page of our dashboard is average future page, and it will display the average value of future, and the code is kept in this file average underscore futures.py. And at the beginning again I have few imports, and then I am registering this page, and I am registering this page at dispatch average dash feature. Then I have given name and then order is given, and again there is a code to load our data set, and then there is a function create bar chart. So this function will be used to create an average bar chart, and this function accepts a single parameter which is the column name, so for which column we want to see average values per wine type. And in order to create average values bar chart, I'm using a histogram. So over here I have given a wine df data frame. For y-axis I have selected column name, x-axis is wine type, so based on a wine type columns will be colored. Color is again wine type, and his function is set as average, so this will create a average bar chart, even though we are using a histogram function. But x-axis is a categorical variable and his function is set as average, so this can be used to create an average bar chart. And then this figure object will be written from this function. So in order to create this average bar chart for selected column, over here I have declared a drop down, so you can select various value from this drop down. Then again I am setting the layout, which is same as our previous page. There is a main div, then there is a header, then there is a drop down, and after drop down there is a chart. So how the chart gets updated, so the linking between that is over here in this callback function. So update bar chart functions will be called every time you change the drop down value, and it accepts a single parameter which is selected column. So what is the selected column for the drop down, this value will be given, and this callback will call this particular function create bar chart, giving it the column name, and this function will return a figure, and that figure will be set as a bar chart figure parameter. So that's how every time you change the value of the drop down, this callback will be called and the figure will be updated. So that will create our fifth page, is average bar chart. Let me show you again. So this is the fourth page and this is the fifth page. As you can see, there is a header and there is a drop down. So when you change drop down, this bar chart will be updated. Yeah, so that's our fifth page. Let's move on to sixth page. Alright, so the code for our sixth and last page is kept in this file name heatmap.py in pages folder. So over here at the beginning, as you can see, again we have a few imports. Then I'm registering this page, so dash.register page, and this page is registered at this part /heatmap. Then the name is given and order is given. Again I am loading the wine.df data frame, our data set, and then I have declared a function name create heat map. So this function will create a heat map as a plotly object and plotly figure object and return it. So in order to create a heat map, first of all I have created a wine underscore core wine data frame, and that will have a correlation data. So we can create it by simply calling core function on wine.df data frame. In order to create a heat map, I have used the im_show function. I have given it our wine core data frame, and I have also specified color map, which is RDBU, which is red and blue color mix. Then I updated the figure object, updated our heat map and returned it. And then at the last I have declared layout. So this is what the layout of the page will be. And again I have used the div, and in that div I have a header for this particular page. So futures correlation heat map will be the header of this page, and then dcc.graph will be used to include heat map. So figure, as you can see, figure parameter has a create heat map function call, which will be setting the heat map. So yeah, that's the total code of our dashboard. Let's bring up the server and let me show you the actual dashboard by interacting with it. Alright, so in order to bring up the server, let me first start terminal. So as you can see, I am in this folder dash plotly dashboard with navbar, and in this folder I have kept the total code of our dashboard. So let me show you content over here. As you can see, assets folder, dashboard.py is the main file which I will run to bring up the dashboard, and this pages folder has all the pages. So in order to bring up the server, you simply need to run the dashboard.py file and it will bring up the server. So I have executed that line of code, and as you can see, it has a server up and running at this particular URL. So let me copy this URL and let me go to browser. So let me paste it. And yeah, so that's our dashboard. So this is the home page of our dashboard. As you can see, when I click on introduction, it will be loading this page. Next is dataset page. So as you can see, I hover over here, it's changing the color of the link. And as I click on dataset link, it's loading the dataset. Next is third page, which is a distribution page. So as you can see, as I clicked on distribution, it loaded the distribution page, and this page has a drop down. So as I change the drop down value, the chart is getting updated and drop down of the selected column is displayed. The histogram of the selected column is displayed. So let me try a few more value, total phenols, and as you can see, chart is getting updated. And then there is a fourth page, which is relationship, and as you can see, the chart is already created with this default selections. So I can change it. I can select ash, and as you can see, x-axis is changed to ash. Let me change y-axis to alkalinity of ash, and yeah, the chart is getting updated. So fifth page is average feature page, and as you can see, again there is a drop down with average values, so I can change. Let me change to alkalinity, and as you can see, as soon as I change the drop down value, the chart is immediately getting updated with the selection. So that's the fifth page. And sixth and the last page is of a heat map, as you can see. And when you hover over particular square, the value of that particular correlation is getting displayed. So it's an interactive heat map. So yeah, that's our dashboard. If you have any doubts or any questions regarding code or dashboard, then please feel free to let me know in the comment section, and see you next time.